People cannot delegate to government the power to do anything which would be unlawful for them to do themselves. And also, power tends to corrupt, and absolute powers corrupt absolutely. These are the words of wise men. Hello and welcome to Randoms. Sit down and relax as we take you through another episode of trending issues on the internet. I am Ogochukwu Mobuno. Well, today we would not have Sharon today, but do not worry. I am here to give you all the trending juicy news on the internet that you have missed out. So let's dive right in. The first story for today is Orji Kalu, who says 14 million naira not enough for House of Rep members as salary. The former governor of Abia State, Orji Uzo Kalu, who represents Abia North Senatorial District, stated this during an interview on Channels TV Politics Today on Thursday. He said, and I quote, "I am doing my best as a legislator for my constituency. I will never fail in my duty, and I'm sure most senators are doing their duties in their constituency. I can never fail in Abia North Senatorial District. I earn 14 million naira in a month, encompassing my salary, overhead, and workers' salaries. Let me be honest with you. Do you know from this money I have to buy fuel to travel to my constituency? It is not enough. When I was a governor, I voted for one term of 6 years. Remember, Obasanjo said I was after him. That was the beginning of our quarrel. I went for one term of 6 years because of the cost of elections, because of the cost of managing the economy as a governor or a president. Their eyes are on re-elections. They are not even thinking about what people will gain, what people will do, and they are only looking for re-election. The only way to solve this problem is to do a 6-year term. Now, these are the words of Orji Kalu. Orji Kalu believes that, the 40 million naira is too small for us. How can we be earning 40 million naira? We'll come here, we'll sit down, we'll delegate on matters concerning Nigerians, and we try to solve problems, and you're giving us 40 million. According to Orji Kalu, in that interview on Thursday evening, he said, I get to fuel my car. I have to go to my constituency and I need to work and I get to fuel my car. Now, this is the question. How many cars are you fueling? How many cars do you buy petrol for? We understand that the cost of petrol has skyrocketed and is about 1,000 and above. But then how many cars are you fueling? Are you telling me, are you telling us, are you telling Nigeria that if you want to go to your constituency, they have to provide this particular allowance for you? Because I understand there are other allowances that are accrued to senators. Or do you want a special allowance for yourself? Do you want to be provided a special allowance? Or how many cars do you want to fuel? Because I know that most of these people carry entourage, they go with convoy, and they want to go with like 6, 7 cars. Please, Mr. Orji Kalu, are you going, or honorable, by the way, if I may say, honorable Orji Kalu, are you going with all of these cars, your 6 cars, to your constituency? And now again, we are going to ask if 40 million, because he said in his statement that it's more like working for somebody, and the person tells you, okay, if you are going to be working here, this is the amount of money I'm going to be giving to you. Take, for instance, the minimum. I'm going to be paying you 70,000 naira, which is the minimum wage right now in Nigeria. And you all came to a consensus and you agreed. You said, okay, no problem, Oga, you can pay me the 70,000 naira. And then you are your boss that, Oga, do you know I have to pay my gate man? I'll have to pay my maid, my housemaid in the house, or I have to feed my dog, or I have children that I will have to take care of in school. We understand that part, but why did you cost? And now you're coming to tell your boss, I can't go. You have to add to the 70,000 naira you're giving me so that I can work effectively, so that everything will go well. That is not your boss's problem. That is not your employer's problem. He has given you both came to this agreement that you are going to be accepting 70,000 naira. He has given it to you. So why come back to say, no, you have to also pay for my children and my dog and for every other bills and every other bill. It not doesn't really make sense that, and Nigerians are really not happy. Many Nigerians have come up to say, okay, if the poor masses can manage 70,000 naira, we understand that it is not even enough. 70,000 naira, it's not enough. And citizens are working hell, like they are working every day, like 9 to 5, trying to make ends meet for themselves. And at the end of the day, they are being paid 70,000 naira to use for a month. And they are trying so hard to manage it, because, you know, you can't say, oh, I'm coming to work today, I won't come tomorrow. Or I'm coming to work next tomorrow, I won't come the day after. Nobody wants to hear that. Your employer has already employed you, and but this time around, Mr. Orji Kalu, Honorable Orji Kalu, is saying 14 million naira is not enough, because he has to pay his staff, he has to pay his workers. The question is, Honorable, are we talking about domestic staff, or are we talking about personal staff? If it is personal staff, that's your personal work, that's your personal thing. And if it is domestic staff, that is yours too. Well, the Honorable sir, we are saying the 14 million naira that you are collecting, and every other member of the House of Representatives, including the senators, are collecting, it's enough. Because right now, I know we are trying to cut cost of governance right now in the country, Nigeria. And if you are coming out to say 40 million naira is not enough, what do you want the poor masses who are earning 70,000 naira as minimum wage to complain about? What do you want them to say? What exactly do you want? How exactly do you want them to feel? Because at this point, you are making them feel like they are not doing their job, or they are not voicing out rightly, or they are not doing what they are supposed to do. If you say you have to do a lot of work, you have to go to your constituency, well, that is your job. That's the job you signed up for. So your salary you should know how to manage that 40 million naira, fill your car, and every other thing you are supposed to do around it. You collect allowances, and you know, you don't expect the government to do extra at this point. Well, that is that for His Excellency, the former governor of Abia State, Orji Uzor Kalu, who is proposing that they should increase, the federal government should increase the salary of senators. Then again, he said something else which is really catching, and he said he proposed a 6-year term during the Obasanjo regime, and he had issues with Obasanjo. Obasanjo was not happy about it, and that is the reason why, according to him, he said that is the reason why he is still they are still beefing, they are still quarreling. Here and Obasanjo, they are still having issues here and there. Now, let's come to think of it, 4 years term. 6-year term. You want to rule, you want the anyone in power to rule for 6 years, then leave completely, like there's no re-election for another term again, then the person's term is gone. Somehow, it doesn't look like a bad idea, but then again, you are ruling for 6 years. It's more like autonomy of power. You're taking over power for 6 years. It's just too long. I think re-election after every 4 years is not a bad thing, but do not worry. We're still going to hear from Nigerians. I know you are itching to hear. Of course, I'll be here to give you all the tweets, all the comments from X, formerly Twitter. But then again, we'll have to go for a quick break. And when we return, I'll give you all of those comments. All right, you're welcome back to Randoms. And if you are just tuning in, do not worry. You know me now. I'll always give you a recap. And you know where you can get that recap? On YouTube. So just run off to YouTube now. But then we're still talking about Senator Orji Kalu, who is saying 14 million naira not enough for senators as monthly salaries. And of course, trust X to be burning with comments. The first comment we are going to dive in right there is from Mohammed Ishfaq. Ishfaq Mohammed said, It is surprising to hear that from a senator raises questions from financial priorities and transparency. Well, I don't think he's welcoming that. He doesn't welcome that at all. So the next one is coming from Kesera. He said, enough when you are fueling a convoy and have several aides with drivers, cooks, and gardeners, and side chicks and security personnel. He came with sword and a lot of things to this fight. This fight is not supposed to be like this now. Why bring side chick? This one straight bullet have hit the side chick from nowhere. Please, are you following the side chick? Do you know the side chick? Anyway, that's from K. Sarah. The next comment is coming from Cisinatus. Cisinatus said, 14 million naira monthly payment from the public coffers is damning enough for a public servant whose signature has not been found around any bill or project of comparative values to the Nigerian people. Yet he complains. Okay, I'm not an indigene of Abia State, so I wouldn't know what he did for Abia State right now. But then I think some persons commended him. Of course, you know, every sitting governor has people who commend them and people who do not. But some persons commended him. But then Cisinatus is saying his name is nowhere, even as a senator. It's okay. It's okay. We're not going to fight here. So this next person this one is coming from Just Gloria. And Just Gloria says, me say, okay, I think she meant to say, my senator, sir, how many staff do you have working under you? Question to Senator Orji Kalu. He said, 14 million naira is not enough. Una too do Nigerian politicians. Well, that is the last comment we have for Orji Kalu proposing that 14 million naira not enough and the federal government should look into it. Well, Orji Kalu, questions have been thrown to you, and just like you all say, manage the 70,000 naira. Who is working? So the federal government is trying to cut down on costs. So please, why not manage the 14 million naira while we work on other things more pressing to the country? Well, the second story for today is coming from a very juicy story that we all have been following concerning Very Dark Man and BOBRISKY. According to Very Dark Man, say BOBRISKY has been arrested this morning at the SEME border while trying to enter Benin Republic to escape the current investigations by the House of Reps. He's allegedly being held by the Nigerian immigration. This is from Very Dark Man. Now, at this point, BOBRISKY, you know, have you been following our story? Following randoms, you will know that we have been following this BOBRISKY story from the beginning, even when they sent, is it Shim or to prison, and even when she came out from prison. Why am I even using she? Okay, because his name is Idris and he was confirmed to be a man when he went to the Kirikiri Correctional Prison. So even when he came out from prison and, you know, we've been following this story. So right now he was invited the first time to court at first, and he said he was sick. Then the House of Reps invited BOBRISKY, invited Very Dark Man, and he also claimed to be sick. Now, this last invitation, BOBRISKY is also saying, I'm not sick this time around, but then trying to flee out of the country. Well, that is an alleged story because there is no proof anywhere that he was held by the immigration service or whatever it is. According to a Twitter comment, say, why is BOBRISKY trying to fly away? I thought, no be man you be. Please, so there's some situations that man will see, the man will even run. So people should not even hold BOBRISKY and ask him why he's trying to flee out of the country. And again, a story came out on Monday. This is from the federal government, and saying that they have cleared him of all charges. He was in prison. He went to prison because people are saying BOBRISKY doesn't look like he went to prison. He came out looking robust, looking fly, looking fine and beautiful, even with hair laid, with lashes and nails, and looking fine now. So did BOBRISKY go to prison? There are so many questions about that. And The questions have been lingering for a long time. And remember, Very Dark Man has followed this story from the beginning. He no one year say anything happen. He doesn't want to hear that, something happened, I missed it. Because this is more like this whole issue is between BOBRISKY and Very Dark Man. Very Dark Man decided to buy this matter. At first, he was being arrested for money mutilation, and then they went on to allege that he was gay. And remember what the law of the country talks about: gay persons in the country serving jail term. So Very Dark Man is really trying his possible best to prove that this is what I saw, and this person needs to serve the proper jail term. And Very Dark Man also feels that there are some persons backing BOBRISKY, and these persons are big persons, and he is alleging that these persons might be top politicians or, people in government, will hire people in government or businessmen. So why are they not bringing him to order? Why are they not taking him to court and all of that? But right now, the federal government has approved that, yes, this man went to prison. Idris went to prison, and he is now free of all charges, and he's a free man. BOBRISKY can now walk freely. But trust me, people on X will not let me rest. They will keep saying things. They don't want to agree that BOBRISKY went to prison. They do not want to agree that BOBRISKY was trying to flee. They don't want to agree that, sorry, was not trying to flee, sorry. But they don't want to agree that, yes, they have cleared him of all charges. But you know what? We have gone there. We have dug comments, and we are going to give it to you hot. But before I give you those comments, I'll be going on a short break. Do not go anywhere. We'll see right after this break. You're welcome back to Randoms. Do not cry. Don't worry. I can see you want to cry. Do not cry. Don't worry. If you have missed out, you have not missed out a lot. But we're still talking about BOBRISKY and Very Dark Man. And the first story we talked about was Orji Kalu, who is saying that 14 million naira not enough for senators as monthly salary. Oof. Whenever I call that 14 million naira monthly salaries, I shall not be poor. Somebody say I shall not be poor. Anyways, we are going straight to the comments for BOBRISKY and Very Dark Man, who alleged that BOBRISKY was trying to flee the country to Benin Republic and was caught at the border, SEME border, by the Nigerian Immigration Service. And the first comment here is coming from Manik. Manik says, Idris, they try dodge the trouble way BOBRISKY put them. Okay. Hold up. Idris and BOBRISKY. Okay. He's trying to say these people are two different persons. Idris is trying to dodge from BOBRISKY's trouble. I'm sorry, forgive my laugh. Okay, the next comment is coming from Mira. Mira says, how sure is he that it was because of the investigation? What if she had something to do in Benin Republic? Very possible. What if BOBRISKY had a show? What if he was going for courtesy visits? There's a what if there. So don't just assume that it's because of the House of Rep. BOBRISKY is a big name now. What do you think? Do you think House of Rep invitation was going to chase BOBRISKY out of the country? Yeah? We don't know, Sha. So the next comment is coming from Verified Homie. Verified Homie says, all those women supporting BOBRISKY should be ashamed of themselves by now. Women are his greatest supporters, and that is why they hate Very Dark Man. Women are his great supporters. What proof do you have, Verified Homie? What proof do you have that they are supporting BOBRISKY? Is it women supporting women? BOBRISKY is in between women and men. But what are your proof? There are no proof. The fourth comment is coming from Joy, and she says, if he's innocent, he won't try to run. Thank God they caught him. Very Dark Man is doing well. Thank God they caught him. This is still alleged because we do not know how true this is, if he was caught or not. Nobody has come out to say anything that he was caught or he wasn't caught. But this is very dark man's word. So let us just go ahead with it. This one is coming from Oshwek. Oshwelek. Abi Osholek. Is it Osholek or Isholek? Isholek Ayomo. He says, with all his mouth and online shades, he wants to flee. I thought he said they could not hold him for the release of the voice note. I guess his godfathers has told him to run for his life. LOL. Yes, now if they cannot do much, they will tell him to run for his life, but we do not know if he was really running. Okay, the prince, he said, I just pity this guy. The prince says, I just pity this guy. He's doing too much on people's matter. Those clapping and supporting him now won't help him when he finally fall into trap sooner or later. So this person is saying very dark man is doing too much. Some persons are saying very dark man is like a Jesus of their time. He's trying to help curtail situations and all of that. But this other person saying very dark man is doing too much. We do not agree. Please stop it. Rest, I beg. You know when people say rest, 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 even when they don't want you to rest, they tell you to rest. Well, very dark man is doing his best. And at this point, since the federal government has come to clear BOBRISKY's name from all of these allegations and said, yes, BOBRISKY went to prison and end of story. Let us end it here. I think it is time to say VDM, rest in Jesus' name. We do not want to drag all of this anymore. We do not want all of this back and forth. We have other things to concentrate in this country. We have people to look out for. We have infrastructures to put in place. We have hungry stomachs to feed and all of that. So please, let's go ahead with all of that and leave all of this back and forth alone. BOBRISKY, go live your life. Go and sin no more. Very dark man, go and sin no more. Do not forget to follow us on all social media platforms using @Global TV NG. And if you missed today's, or maybe you just tuned in, you are just joining us, do not worry. You can run off to YouTube @Global TV NG and just type randoms. You will see me there while you listen to all of this gist. Until I come your way next time, I am Ogochukwumobno. Bye-bye.